Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here at Esther 5D Energy. It's good to see you all here in this moment of now as I go into channel and see what the guides have to say this week. I just want to say I thank you very much for listening, and I love you all. This vessel steps back. We step forward as the Arcturians. The Arcturians that are part of a council, a galactic council that is overseeing much of the changes, and we are part of the support system here for your accelerated ascension process. The Arcturians have accompanied humans along the journey here as part of your galactic family. And so we honor each and every one of you, each and every one of your individual paths, and offer our assistance to you. As you learn to tune into your intuition and quiet your mind, there is much information, and we will call them downloads of information ready for you to access. And why would this be important now? And you would assume, well, we're in an accelerated ascension process, so this is the way of it. And we would say yes, in a manner of a trajectory of the human collective, yes. But there is something as an individual that you are going to use that will be of great benefit to you. And as your support system, we want to make this transition into the higher frequencies as smooth as possible. And just like when you learned to drive a vehicle or ride a bike, it took some practice before you got the hang of it. We would say also each one of you learned a little bit differently, didn't you? In other words, some of you had a lot of support in learning to ride a bike or drive a car, and some of you didn't. All paths are honored in this, and you will know even the timing of it was slightly different for each one of you. There wasn't an exact age or an exact time that was required to ride a bike or learn to drive a car. It was when the opportunity presented itself to you. So we would say for most of you, you're in a different frequency than you were when you were born. You're in a higher frequency now that allows higher consciousness to come in and help guide and support these changes. And you will need your intuition. And your intuition can be a bit programmed and trusted, like riding a bike or driving a car. Part of it, the subconscious takes over at some point, and riding a bike or driving a car isn't as difficult. You can multitask while riding a bike. You can talk to a friend or look around you and enjoy the scenery. When you drive a car, you're able to have a conversation with someone sitting next to you. You still have to pay attention to the road, but you're not concentrating so hard. You trust that you know how to do it, you see. And this is the practice that you're going to need with the intuition. You're going to have to learn at some point to let go and trust that you can do it. And there is no requirement, no level of deserving to learn to read your intuition or to channel information. And we will call it channeling. There was a question from the last transmission that was given about channeling and how this particular vessel learned how to channel. And we would say that all of your experience is valid in your journey. And so if you need to read a book, if you feel called to just listen to more information on as this one is presented, or join a group to help you practice your channeling, this will be used to train your intuition. This is the part of the trip that's learning to ride the bike, you see, or learning to drive the car. And as a family member, a galactic family member, we are telling you, like a galactic family member coming to say, we're going on a trip and you're going to need to know how to ride your bike. And you're going to need to make sure that your bike is in order, that it's been taken care of for this trip, and that you're in shape to ride your bike. And yes, there will be many of us going on this trip riding the bike, and you will enjoy it, but we are just giving you a heads up that get comfortable on your bike, you see. And so it is the same way with the human collective moving forward in the new energy. You're going to need your human intuition. And this is something intrinsic in all of you. It is not as it used to be in the old energy, something for certain people only that would even be interested. Many of you would have never thought that you would be even listening to a channel like this in the past. Now you're ready. So just like you were ready and the opportunity presented itself to ride the bike or drive the car, now you are ready. The opportunity is now presenting itself for you to channel your own information in a certain way that will make your life easier for you. You will get clear messages. All of the information is available to you right there. It is available to you about what you need to know about your health, about what you need to know about how to proceed with your finances, how to organize your things, what to do when you hear conflicted messages in the media about what is going on out there. And you will hear conflicted messages, and they will confuse you or try and navigate you into their perspective, we will call it. And there are times when you will have to sit back and say, is it important that I even know which is right or wrong? And we would say there will be times when a lot of the information you can choose to, well, we will call take it or leave it, you see, because it will not affect you in any certain way. But there will be information and downloads coming down the line. There will be galactic contact and information in this way that will be streamed to you in the form of your intuition. And this is why it is important for you to know this and to practice it and to enjoy practicing it. For we are like the family that says we're going on a trip and you need to get good at riding your bike. Well, this collective and this galactic family that you are part of is going on a journey here, a transition into higher consciousness. And it is getting to the point where you will really need a certain skill set to make it easier for you and to enjoy it, to make it the best for the highest good of you and those around you. So enjoy learning about the intuition, about channeling for yourself. Practice it for yourself, quieting the mind, stepping aside, seeing what messages come through, journaling the answers, writing them down. Practice with those that you know that are comfortable with this. Find groups that practice channeling together or would be interested in practicing. And this could be done online. It doesn't have to be in person, you see. Many of you enjoy the online contact. It's much faster and it can be accessed very easy for you. In the time that you have, we know that you are busy with your life, but as we say, there is much coming up for the human collective, and each and every one of you has signed on to be awake during this time so that you can use this skill set. And we encourage you to follow that, to follow channeling for yourself. And we call it channeling because it's a matter of opening the mind and letting in the information like a flow of water in a channel. You see, it's all there. All the information is there for you. It's not hiding from you. It's not trying to get away from you. It's actually trying to get through to you in this new energy. It very much is very present. And it will not be perhaps as it was in the past if you tried before. And perhaps you didn't feel you had a level of frustration. It didn't turn out the way you thought. We would ask you to try it again in the new energy, to get your frequency up as high as possible in that meditative state, using positive reinforcements with perhaps meditation that is guided, that talks about peace, that talks about harmony and love and joy. All these things raise your frequency. And it is in those very clear moments, in that quiet space, that this information, these downloads will begin to reach you. And it is quite an exciting time. And many of you will really enjoy it. And even if your intuition tells you something, which line to get in at the store is the fastest, we would say make it a game a bit. Try and listen to your intuition with joy and do it in small ways. And when this happens, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you found the parking space that you wanted by being relaxed and not really knowing where it was going to be, but it ended up being perfect. You see, these types of daily things that happen is you guiding you in effect, you using your intuition, your higher self, and your guidance system here to make life easier for you. And as you begin to trust it through some of these, we would call them daily practices, then when the big stuff comes, you'll know, you'll already be clear that you have the ability to do this, that the information you're receiving is accurate. So continue practicing, continue looking for ways to learn and to investigate them. For just like learning to drive the car or riding the bike, each one of you will have a little bit different timing and a different way of doing it. But nonetheless, you will all reach it. You all have the ability innate within you. And that is our message from the Arcturians today, so that we can give you those galactic updates of what's going on in the earth. There won't be confusion in your being as to who's telling the truth, because your intuition, your higher self will be able to communicate freely. We will be able to communicate freely with you, and you will know within your own being what is going on. And we will tell you that the next few years, this will be a very important skill. And more will be coming regarding this topic. But as we guide you along this next step in your life, know that you are fully supported. We love you. This is our message today. Namaste. Thank you. And see you next week.